All right, welcome back. Today, we're gonna go over how to install an outlet, okay? So we're gonna get rid of this nasty wire, and then we're gonna go ahead and tap off of this and put one up behind the TV. All right, y'all up for the challenge? Let's do it. Okay, guys, listen. Before we start, if you are uncomfortable doing this, please hire a professional, okay? We're about to deal with high voltage. Only if you're comfortable with doing this, follow these steps. If you are not, either reach out to a professional or don't do it at all. There's another video with other techniques. There's more than one way to conceal your wires, but today we're gonna install this outlet, all right? All right, keep it locked. Man, it's dirty. Gotta sweep this out the way. All right, guys, look, this is in no particular order, but these are the things that we'll need, all of the tools, okay? Screwdriver. Now, I'm gonna use my electric one because it's just quicker, but they both do the same thing. That's a Phillips. Here's a flathead gang box, an outlet. This right here, I call it a Unibit. I think it's a Unibit. I'm not sure. Yeah, if you know what, put it in the description, but I think this is a Unibit. I'll show you when you need this. Drywall saw so we can cut out the space for the gang box. Stud finder, electrical tape, my poker tool, just something to poke holes with. Depending on your wall and what may be behind it. These are fishing rods that I'll use to fish through. So if there's insulation behind the wall, I'll use this. Now, if the wall is just open, an open space, I call it a straight drop. I'll just use the chain itself and drop this down. Circuit tester we'll need, and this will just let us know that we have power at the end and to make sure that we successfully turn off the power. This right here is a pencil, so you're gonna need a pencil. Level. We're gonna need some Rolex wiring for the electrical and the cover plate. And then last but not least, something to play clean up with. Dustpan, vacuum, whatever the case. Let's get to it. Oh, I'll also have all this stuff in the description. I'm here if you got any questions. Let's keep it going. Okay, fam, so we're gonna start with taking the TV down, okay? Before we do that, we need to grab our pencil and mark how low the TV drops. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take this, put it there, and then what I'm gonna do is mark a little above. Might be hard to tell, but it's right there. Now TV must come off it. Let's do it.
So I'll start by disconnecting it.
As you can see, here's what we're left with, right? So just a wall and a bracket. So what we want to do now is find our line that we made, and we can place our outlet anywhere in here. All right, so the trick is that you don't want, if you know the TV stops here and the bottom is like here, we definitely want our outlet somewhere in the mix here, okay? Yeah, so when you're scoping the scene, you almost have to channel your inner John Madden and figure out exactly where you want to pinpoint. You go here, if you got a stud here, if you got a stud here, you know that's a no-go. So what we want to do is kind of circumvent that, come over here, boom, X marks the spot. So this is where we're gonna place the outlet. Cool? Sounds good, let's go. Next, we're gonna grab our gang box and our level, okay? So you can use the level to make sure that this is positioned like perfect. It'll be behind the television, so it's not super necessary, but it just depends on how much of a stickler you are. So for the sake of demonstration purposes and us attempting to be perfect.
Oh,
perfect.
Oh, he needs some milk.
We're gonna go ahead and use the level, okay? So I'm gonna show you how I do that. So boom, we're gonna put it here, stick the level there, and gonna go here on the side, at the bottom, hopefully you guys can see that, and then here on the side also, okay? So it makes like somewhat of a perfect square. I know you're just getting forehead talk right now, but what I want you to focus in on is this. So we made our square. So remember my handy dandy poker tool? Yeah, I like to use that so that I know exactly where I was drawing. So I know here, and I like to do the four corners. So I go there, here, and here. So now when I take my blade and I go to cut, it'll automatically cut out, like, you know, I don't have to think and try to guess, and I won't cut the hole too big, okay? All right, so I bet this is the spot that y'all was waiting for. So here we go. We're gonna go ahead and take our drywall cutter, go in gently, and then we're gonna start the process of cutting. Now, if you haven't used a drywall cutter before, you wanna cut at an angle, not straight. Cutting at an angle makes it a little easier. Now, full disclosure, where I'm cutting, I know that I have plywood behind this, okay? So typically where you're cutting, yours will go all the way through your drywall. In my case, I know what I'm dealing with, so I'm gonna have to cut here, and I'm gonna have to cut wood behind this, okay? So I'll show you guys that, but that's not essential to this because everybody's home is different, to be fair, but my case is unusual for this studio. All right, and as you can see, our plywood behind the paper. This is just the backing, the face of the drywall. But you can probably see this plywood pieces. So once I cut it in that, I'll have space. Your wall probably won't have this behind it, so no worries. But if it does, boom, you get to see firsthand how it's done. Let's do it. One thing to note is that it's also easier when you're dropping the outlet inside the same stud bay. So you want to use your stud finder to mark and pinpoint where each stud may be so that you'll know, hey, this is within the stud or it's a little outside of it. If it's outside of it, you'll have to make additional cuts, which in another video we can go over. Or if that's the case and you're following step by step, you can reach out to me. Or there's tons of other videos online that'll show you how to patch your wall pretty much, because you'll have to open that section up. In this case, we're dropping within the same stud bay, so it should be fairly simple. Let's continue. All right, so now that we have the opening up top ready for wiring and the gang box, we're going to go ahead and test the outlet, make sure it's on, and then proceed to cut off the power. All right, so both my lights are on, which indicates that we have power. So now I'm going to run down to the breaker box and successfully shut off the power. All right, I'm back, and it looks like our lights are off, which indicates that power is successfully turned off, okay? So without further ado, now we'll take our screwdriver and go ahead and remove this plate. It's actually our flathead screwdriver. Your screws may vary, so whichever one, use the appropriate screw. Take it off and just kind of set that aside. And on this one, we have a flat also. All right, so remember the Unibit that I was talking about? Yeah, you don't need a drill for it. So in the gang box, what I'm gonna do is create a new hole that I can route my sticks through so that I can catch them on at the top, okay? So we're gonna go here and I'm gonna drill a hole right at the top. Okay, team, next thing we're gonna do is take our sticks, put them together, and we're gonna fish up. Now, you see I like to have a string on the end so that when I put the hooker part,
He needs some milk.
when I put this part through the hole, I have something to grab and kind of pull through, okay? All right, so let me go ahead and get started. I'll show you. Okay, so now we're gonna take our hook at the top and go fishing. Voila, see? Chain. Now that we got that ran, we're gonna take our Rolex wiring and electrical tape, tape it to the chain and pull it through. You wanna make sure that you tape it nice and secure, nice and tight, so that you don't yank the chain through or pop the chain and leave the wiring behind and you gotta start all over, okay? So, boom. All right, let's start the process, fishing this through, pulling this one out, nice and easy. And what you can do too, you can shorten it. There you go, there you go. You wanna be careful with the chain. And make sure you don't pull it too tight, and there you go. There you have it. Perfect. Now you want to make sure you give yourself enough to cut, and if you make mistakes, you got enough to pull through. So just leave a little slack, but not too much, okay? All right, family, my apologies. There's two other things that we're gonna need in addition, or just really just want a wire cutter. But you can also use a box cutter too, if you want. But first I have these snips here. So this excess wiring, all this extra that we have, I wanna make sure I have enough at the bottom and then enough here at the top. So I'm gonna go ahead and about here should be good. It's right there. So all of this extra will go on to the next job. Set that aside. So now that we're here with this wiring, what I wanna do, box cutter also. Man, I'm on one. All right, so box cutter, we're gonna take it, I'm just gonna slice right down the middle of the coating, and then you just split it open like such, like that. And that kind of exposes the wire. So we have our hot, our neutral, and then our ground. So, all right, that's that. Take this and cut off this extra. Voila. All right, next step will be taking the wire splicer or box cutter, whatever you can. Go to the black one, or it doesn't matter which one you start with first. And then what you want to do is pretty much just kind of cut it back, exposing it. All right. All right. Boom. There we go. All right. From there, we take our gang box, and on these tabs, you're going to push open one of the tabs, whichever one you want. So you see there, and I'm going to funnel this end of the wire through it, like such. Boom.
There we go. And then we're going to go ahead and do our best to reset this bad boy in there as much as possible.
Okay. So now we got that in there. I'll go ahead and take my screwdriver and drill these pieces in. Wonderful. Next step, take your outlet here, and we're going to go ahead and start connecting the connectors. So let's take the ground cable, wrap around the green. All right, so the way I like to remember is I like to turn it clockwise. That makes sense. Make a hook, and it should wrap around the screw clockwise. So when you turn the screw to tighten it, it's going in the direction that the hook is going, if that makes sense. Let's see if I can get you focused so you can see. Okay. All right, so here it is right here. Okay, I'm tightening that piece. All right, perfect. Next, we'll take our neutral. Neutral go on the silver side, so the white goes to the silver, and then on the back. So you have two ways you can do it. You can kind of put it into this little hole here, or you can wrap it around the same way that we did the ground cable. In this case, I'm just gonna push it right into here. So you kind of push it in, and then you see that it's secured. You shouldn't see anything showing here, or very little, if any, but you see it's secured in there. And then we want to do the same thing for the black into the bronze side or the gold side, which is the hot side, okay? Let me take that, and boop, just like that. Boop, there we have it, okay? So we have solid connections. From here, you just want to safely kind of fish the wire back in and kind of set this up to be screwed into place like that. As you guessed, I'm going to use my mechanical screwdriver. Go here and just kind of fasten that into place. Boom, that's perfect. Now, rip off the plastic. All right, so next step, you're gonna take your plate, and all you're gonna do is press the plate right over top, the middle screw, screw that bad boy in, and by God, look at that. You got yourself an outlet. You got yourself an outlet. That's an outlet. Oh no, but wait, there's more. We didn't finish the bottom side, y'all. So we gotta dismantle this thing and then pretty much connect this existing piece to the existing outlet. Then we have an outlet. Hold on. All right, let's lock in. So we need to undo what we did with the electrical tape. Wonderful. All right, so then we're gonna follow the same steps. We're gonna make an incision onto the coat. Split that up like that. Okay, draw back all of the coating to expose some of the wire. Not too much, but a good amount. And then what I like to do is just cut off all the excess. I'm sorry. I don't want to cut off the excess. We need access so that we have power. All right, boom. Next, we grab these bad boys here. We're going to do the same thing. Just kind of hit the tips, expose them. Now, so on the existing outlet, as you can see, these are wrapped around the screw heads on that, but that's okay. So what we're going to do, same thing with the ground cable. Screwdriver, go to the ground and go ahead and loosen that up. What we don't want to do is take out the existing one. Sometimes it may pop off, that's okay. So we're going to take this and actually go in the same direction, just loop it around. Most of the time you can get two onto one screw comfortably, especially when it comes to the ground. All right, and then for the hot and the neutral, we're just going to go into the back holes the same way that we did at the top. So we're going to take our neutral, boom, go straight in like that. Take our hot, go straight in. Okay, so we said hot, so the black cable go into the bronze or the gold side. The white cable goes into the silver side, okay? And then take the excess. Remember, you might need some for it to fold into the gang box nice and comfortably. Put that there, and then we're going to start these here. And remember, when we took these off, they were flathead, so we're going to use the flathead screwdriver to get these back in. And guys, we are almost there. Almost there. All right, wonderful. It's there. Take the plate. Want to connect that plate back. Same thing, flathead. Oop. That's okay. That's okay. You want to play? Okay. Boom. All right. That's what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? That right there, that's just, we could just marvel at that for a second. You know, I just like to thank you guys for giving me the opportunity to actually, you know, do this and show you guys this. It means a lot to me. And yeah, and I mean, this is the end result right here, right? So you got an outlet here, got one down there, both sourcing from the same power, okay? So we're gonna take this bad boy and we're gonna stick the tester into the new one. So as you can see, we have no power yet. Let's run to the breaker box, flip that switch and see what we got. Be right back. Would you look at that? We have power. That's it. So last steps, we put the TV back on, cut it on, and we're done. That's how you do it, guys. That's how you do it. Any questions, y'all feel free to reach out, okay? But let me show y'all what it is with the TV on. There we go. No wires, baby. See that? Clean. All right, that, my friends, wraps it up. Also, always a resource for you guys if you have questions about how to do it. So in the last video, we went over how to hide the wires utilizing the conduit. In this one, we went ahead and installed a outlet. And I guess the next one, we'll just go over the fundamentals and the basics of mounting a TV, if that's something that you want to see. But again, I got a lot of them going. If you have any ideas or any videos that you would want to see me illustrate, feel free to reach out, leave a comment, let me know, okay? Until next time.